I absolutely love all of the eating the rich TikToks happening right now, but I'm seeing a lot of middle class things being listed, so I have a question. What's the most insane actual rich person behavior that you've experienced?
One time, this modeling agency that I worked for booked me for a job where I got flown out to Vegas and had to sign an NDA to go to this billionaire's party, which was really just some billionaire's birthday party. Anyways, this man hired all of these Instagram influencers that we all know, hear my asses, at this fucking party, okay? I'm around all these stunning models and they roll out a table of Fear Factor ass shit food. I'm talking pig eyeballs, livers, guts, slime, okay? Every item of food had a price attached to it, $1,000, $5,000 to eat this food, whatever. These men got off on watching these beautiful women eat garbage. Easiest $1,000 I've ever.
My story's about one of my best friends. For those of you that know who I'm talking about, you know their family's very well known, but also super private. Over the summer, I was swimming at their house during quarantine with a few of our friends. After swimming, I started scrolling through Instagram and came across this post with the kid that lived at that house of this pizza place in New York called Ray's Pizza. We both were obsessed with it. I jokingly said what I would do to go to New York right now. The kid leaves, comes back. About 20 minutes later, gets a call from his dad and puts it on speaker. And his dad goes, "Okay, you guys are all set." And all of our friends were like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You're all set for your day trip." Anyways, we got on their private jet, flew from Detroit to New York, and then when we got at the airport, there was a private helicopter waiting that flew us into Manhattan to their condo. And we went around New York for the day to stuff that was open, got that pizza, and got back to Michigan before any of our parents ever found out.
So I used to date this Formula One driver, and one weekend it was Valentine's Day. He had a race and he asked me, "Hey, do you mind staying at the apartment just for like a couple days and watching the dog?" And I was like, "Of course, I love Lambo, like I will stay at the apartment." I was honestly so excited because this apartment building was so fucking nice. But one of the days that I'm there, I go to take out Lambo. And as I'm letting him just kind of walk around outside, this guy comes up to me. And he is a YouTuber. I'm not going to say who he is unless this blows up, then I'll expose him. Brent. Not going to start drama. But anyway, he looks at me and goes, "Oh my god, is this Lambo?" And I go, "Yeah, like it's Lambo." And he goes, "Oh my gosh, you must be the Gilhart's new maid, huh?" And I'm baffled. And I just look at him dead in the eye and go, "Nah, actually, I'm Chase's girlfriend." And he goes, "Oh, okay." And fucking walks away. I have a lot more stories from that place, so let me.
Before I became an air traffic controller, I used to work in Part 135 on-demand private jet charter. And I did a little bit of sales, charter operations, dispatch, a little bit of everything. And we had this one trip where we flew this woman from Opelika, Florida to Van Nuys, California, her and her dog. Flew them out to California. And then the woman told us that her dog was sick and needed to go back home. We were like, okay. So we flew the dog back to Florida, just the dog, not even the woman. And we called the woman, let her know that the plane had landed safely and everything. And she was very grateful. And talking to her on the phone, we learned that the dog wasn't even sick. The dog was homesick. So this woman easily spent $40,000 at least to charter a private jet to fly her homesick dog from California to Florida, and then had to fly back to California to pick her up and then back to Florida.
When I was in college, I had a friend whose family was actually very wealthy. She was super sweet. She didn't act better than any of us, but she definitely had that wealthy person mindset. So, we were talking about how financial aid had been screwed up and I lost all my loans and scholarships. And so she asked why I didn't get my parents to do anything about it. And I said, "Well, I can't afford that. My parents don't make enough money." This girl literally grabs her cell phone, calls her dad, and says, "Hey, do you think you could drop a couple grand in order to pay off my friend's tuition this semester?" I got my tuition, and I graduated in the same semester.
My house was so big, I had to tell my dad dinner was ready by using the phone intercom system. And all of those dinners were 3-course meals prepared by a private chef. We had at least like 7 employees in the house at all times, including security guards, and my mom always was terrified that there would be an inside job and I would be kidnapped. When my parents got divorced, I had to live in 4 houses at the same time, and somehow I would get in trouble because I couldn't keep track of all my underwear. One time we took a 30-minute commercial flight from Boston to Nantucket, and my dad hated the commercial flying experience so much, despite the fact that state police officers helped us through it. He had the private plane meet us in Nantucket to bring us back to Boston. I never had to go to the grocery store as a kid. There would be a pad of paper in the kitchen. If I wrote something down, it would disappear the next day. My parents' divorce made the news, calling my mom a gold digger, and the comments were full of men counting down the years until I turned 18. I wasn't allowed to put my last name on social media because people would track me down and kidnap me.
Buckle up, y'all! My house is so big that I have to have 3 routers and none of them are ever working. My mom's best friend took a private plane from Los Angeles to China because they didn't want to drive the extra 30 minutes from the regular commercial airport to their city. I once took a family day trip to Mexico because my parents wanted lobster. My family is currently gentrifying a neighborhood. My parents' love language to me when I was a child was naming a factory in China after me. I was able to do an economic impact analysis of reporting my rape, and it would affect a few major industries, both in the United States and China. When my parents got divorced, it caused a few murders, an extra unrelated felony charge, downfall of a few businesses, and a Ponzi scheme. No one ever really showed me true affection, so now all I know how to do is throw money at things.
So we